Equasiafo, a Jimmy Fuasifo, Waminya Tibugan and Fatame. Now, and then, Yanko next topic. Yanko next topic. And then me fa media no a baby obefa bia congratulations to John Dramani Mahama. Congratulations to John Dramani Mahama. And I say John Dramani Mahama timi ako UK ako kasa e di achire abrofo se eliema bi omuwi aye ba chote mi ye pa eliema bi a omuwi aye abrana nkwa to dwadi e koso no omo ensan enfamra we ababeye asem kese bia IDC for the prayer soon e wo media no. But you know me mentia said in time for omo time akufo Addo especially like that. Me nim the tia. Even though this man has been one of the prominent presidents that Ghana has ever had, Akufo Addo has been one of the best presidents that Ghana. But this man has been hated. He has been hated seriously. But no one I'm just maybe because Akufo Addo was against corruption. I think that is what created more room for hatred. Because man for calling in China, you will not get what you wanted. Because no, one myself no beche or mine is Canada. So I sometimes console myself and say, people hate Akufo Addo because of how honest and how principled he is. Because brother, you ran Akufo Addo, you ran Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo on the 78th UN Assembly or call, I think at the UN Assembly hall. And the papa echo, you know, who catch up for no more shareholder in our said. What believe we said? I be mine. A chile ayaka. The sika sama ayentene. I want to buy a son. Any mania ye femono. And ye in a photo. Number no or believe we said it is due to how a profono. A fast, quina a profound fast so. And the baby ya japa deep no medifilo mind de call my out with this on fast so. And the quite more fast on best say young crop for yen and anom. Yen and castle on man not or mona didn't know Tina or Masha or mobile dear mino. On best sound on the coin. And no effect no nama Africa mining mining Brebiano young coin. So he believed said a time has come because can say Bra Yadim Raba America said and Quato yin trem. I am so I'm qua now more masters in several American and other countries. Ye jaw no, ye pierce come out. It also whom said it is a time that the white men must to give back everything that they stole from us, including historical objects, museums, among food to quite correct, the good PS academy or more, among funny in America. Museums away group amount for about opposite country say Africa for you lose about $60 billion because near man dia keeping away your mind and come on for Framan on your barber and profinance Google mine and on Muche Musica. It was young funny in our San Ghana for and the people say damage omodiama African race no sika bia ni ho a betumi ayɛ a compensate, but because we cannot do bad against bad, you know, the white countries must compensate Africa by supporting us with that interest and all those things. But can say when you know, I say my you and the UN 78th Annual Assembly. Tiprofuni yepa, my church over to the Tiasana you and another Ekai. Sabrina you and another cast, and this is 14 at Tempa, and this is for Champonopa. Listen.
Bring the subject of reparations firmly to the fore.
Welcome to Africa at the UN.
Mr. President, to shirk any responsibility for the problems we face that are of our own making. And it bears repeating that we are not craving for sympathy, and we do not want to be a scar on anybody's conscience. But we cannot, and the world should not pretend that the present-day economic and social conditions of Africa have nothing to do with the historical injustices that have fashioned the structures of the world. It is time to acknowledge openly that much of Europe and the United States have been built from the vast wealth harvested from the sweat, tears, blood, and horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and the centuries of colonial exploitation. Maybe we should also admit that it cannot be easy to build confident and prosperous societies from nations that for centuries have their natural resources looted and their peoples traded as commodities. For centuries, the world has been unwilling and unable to confront the realities of the consequences of the slave trade. But gradually, this is changing, and it is time to bring the subject of reparations firmly to the fore. Granted, the current generations are not the ones that engaged in the slave trade, but that grand inhuman enterprise was state-sponsored and deliberate, and its benefits are clearly interwoven with the present-day economic architecture of the nations that designed and executed it. Reparations must be paid for the slave trade. No amount of money will ever make up for the horrors, but it would make the point that evil was perpetrated, that millions of productive Africans were snatched from the embrace of our continent and put to work in the Americas and the Caribbean without compensation for their labor. If there are any hesitations in some minds about the paying of reparations, it is worth considering the fact that when slavery was abolished, the slave owners were compensated for the loss of the slaves because the human beings were labeled as property, deemed to be commodities. Surely, this is a matter that the world must confront and can no longer ignore. The African Union has authorized Ghana to hold a global conference on the issue in November in Accra. It is probably also the time to return to that vexed subject of illicit financial outflows out of the continent of Africa. I refer to the report of the panel chaired by the highly respected former South African President Thabo Mbeki on the illicit flow of funds from Africa, which states that Africa is losing annually more than 88 billion United States dollars through illicit financial outflows. Yes, those monies too must be returned to the continent. It is difficult to understand why the recipient countries are comfortable about retaining such funds and are happy to call those countries from whom the monies are taken as corrupt. I believe that a joint task force of the African Union Commission and the OECD Secretariat under the auspices of the United Nations should be charged to find ways of stopping the damaging outflows. Mr. President, before the pandemic, We, like many other parts of the world, were making progress with the 17 SDGs, and we had good reason to believe we would achieve the 2030 target. Today, the picture we have on our performance is not very bright. Most of the 21 targets designated for achievement by 2020 have not been met, and we are not on track to achieve many other targets by 2030. According to the 2023 SDG report, just 12% of the SDG targets are on track to be achieved. Progress on 50% of the targets is weak. The most disappointing part is that we have stalled or retrogressed more than 30% of the targets. We need to accelerate action on the entire project. Mr. President.
Well, in any case, as some of you about me, I can't sabre no more. And I say, Yamfa, a Japati Bia, Profuna Bia, a dear free Africa, my Mamudi Quaman Piano, Yansan Famra. Now Africa for so into me any from our object, a historical object, a value, attracting a lot of tourism, creating a lot of revenue and income to the African countries. Nanando ka same way, in NDC for Momo Kotra platform so edit na tem. Nanando, I'm on 4 times. I'm on 4 times. I'm for time for no reason. Listen to this video.
The do so call one foul mine uncle. Wajao forest, wajao gold, wajao mango, wajao diamond, wajao nipo mo papa. Maybe sana nado say, aburo beto man gold no be gold ne tuko. Mangani se tuko. This is not the time for reparation discussion. You see, when you resurrect this discussion now, at the Yaoba, at the end of the discussion, say about it's needless. Apart from AU agenda, what say a no now of I will not even would like to discuss this further and say another AU chairperson agenda. That's number one. Number two, Ghana and Africa at this moment, we don't need that. Kwame, so only Floyd Mayweather bear boxing ring man. They also say shut up and prepare. Take my quotation. Open so fight Zuma Nelson, our boxing ringer. It's not about shouting. It's not about sloganeerism. It's about keeping quiet to prepare. For Singapore as a case study. What did Singapore do? In the 1970s, Singapore was a tiny country. Malaysia wanted to buy Singapore. What did Lee Kuan Yew do? He kept quiet and built his country. Kwame, so you see silence is golden. Umiyawa do not build the Ghana. They rather come and apologize to you. Ghana and Africa doesn't need reparation. What we need is a conscious leadership. And one aka yen semuno. Abrofra bedi yesoko. Di ombedi yes. You don't forget to say. Nana do awoka se ubeko nana bi kwa part of the slave trade mechanism. Oh how? Because slave trade ne ba ye no. It was engineered by 3 people. Powerful African leaders, traders and agents. Sanko for ne boama abi before through indirect rule. Ebedi edi slave trade by and slave trade gave way to colonialism. And to be no menka so kan wo nani nananom kwa ye part of homo mu promote slave trade because the slave trade no make people richer. Don't forget to say slave trade gave way to property owning democracy. Because in slave trade no human beings were seen as property. Ye huni pasa japade o ye fa sa aboa and we came. The moment of the country in West Africa and yet the discussion of resulting reparation. At the moment we need conscious leadership. Leadership are in the review. Leadership are now which on see cathedral. Leadership are better corruption so. Leadership is also the use start a ban to an of worker. When you can do the fundamentals right, Abrofo be respectful. Me, I work with the Commonwealth. And let me tell you, so Commonwealth in penny foolish here. Your country some respect you. You know what they respect? Ghana count. They respect Rwanda, Papa. You know why? Rwanda was quiet and building his country. So, my suggestion to the president in Sananado is too late to call. What you should do, they say, build your country. Kwame say, oyere wo hona man ho ye fa man for kamfo no. Se man na ye chichire no. Ya entire man for yan kulase ye bansa. Ne ye chichire man ni ye. ye create nyuma amanfo nko wo nsuo so emma kwa wo mutumi wuye ye ya kwan yi a sakwase broni kura kopa visa aba ukroma or respect.
Very well.
The moment of the reparation call is too late a call, is defeatist, is not needed, and it is simply his AU chairperson agenda.
Okay.
And I don't buy into that.
Yes, and the way this was what the NDC was saying about Nanado, because Nanado was talking about repatriation. Say yemfa before the NDC soldier Nanado the bold man who was able to champion this idea. John Darega came to power 2012 to 2016. Was he able to go to the United States and talk about this? Professor Evans Fifi Atamils, he was a president. Unfortunately, he lost his life on our way going. Was he able to champion the repatriation of the slave trade, objects and other things? My brother, my sister, Flight Lieutenant John Rawlings became a president. Was he able to face the white man and tell them to bring back whatever they stole from Africa? No. Neither J. Kufuor did that. But ask yourself, why did Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo started that? Because Nana Addo has been a human rights lawyer and he understands really what it means. And that is why he had the courage to go to the UN and nudge them and demand and start pushing an agenda for the white men to recognize and say what they did in Africa was really a damage, or was one of the biggest criminal act against humanity. It is only Nana Addo after 65 years who was able to say that in front of the white man, but they insulted him. But what is happening today? And then NDC is jubilating. People are calling John Mahama goat. People are calling John Mahama the president of all time. Adintia. He has continued with what Nana Addo started. Hey, and Tinipa no kofa adiani bayan. Kofa bayan. Where you nama? Obi obeye ntoaso no. I will be adwene identity and obeto. You are praising him. You see how the NDC is hypocritical. You see why I'm telling you, say people hate Nana Addo for nothing. And nothing. They just hate him because he will not compromise himself for you to steal. Majority of the NDC did not come. He was actually insulting Nana Addo for going to the white men to demand them to bring back whatever they stole from Africa. But now, and then I don't want to show you any video where they are what? They are praising John Mahama, because it makes me piss off. I'm pissed off because I cannot accept it. Say Enra, Ene, a hero ten, and they say, apart with I don't know what is wrong with you guys. The thing was not good yesterday, but it is good today because of hypocrisy. Because of hypocrisy. Because of hypocrisy. Memo, Yankopon, and then Mubedi. Semo Kai Jankoma Akufo-Addo, the daughter of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. This woman, apparently Papa president, she decided say interchange is a Ghana, a yes meant she just want to bring something beautiful to color the cities with pictures and other things. Manu we fat on who said ne papa yɛ president ɛyɛ nokorɛ, but she thinks sɛ cement na yɛde ayɛ interchanges no ɛyɛ white dodo nti no ɔbɛpɛ kwan bi so na wapɛ fountain wapɛ sika ɛde afiri baabi ɛde ayɛ saa adwuma no ɛna maame ɛkɔ ne nam mu a ɛna amanfoɔ ɛdɔ ne tii sika maa no ɛna maame ɛde yɛ nnwuma bi ɛte sɛ wei saa nnwuma wei no penti the interchanges in Accra ɔhyɛ aseɛ from Accra ɛna penti bi a look at it o. I think you can see this is when the Nana Danko Akufo-Addo daughter did this one. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ba ne yɛ saa adwuma wei no asɛm a yɛte firi NDC foɔ ano no sɛ maame wei Akufo-Addo asesa $25 million a man so onko penti interchange nipa da sani time wae ya se nipa da sani time wa ɛya na ɛya pa yɛdi maame atem di ne papa atem maame ba abɔnten bɛka sɛ da bi yama ne sika bia ɔno a na ɛfa akwa bi so ɛkɔ hwehwɛ sika from donation ɛde bɛyɛ saa adwuma no yɛdi maame no atem saa bɛtɛ a regional minister a representative of the president at a particular region ayɛfrɛ no Asanteman ɛne n'adwuma a wayɛ ne achievement kɛseɛ paa ne sɛ wapenti interchange wɔ Kumasi, and for that reason Kumasi nkurasefoɔ journalist binom ɛndɔɔso no sɛ wayɛ adwuma kɛseɛ paa baabi sɛ sɛ saa interchange no why ne si yɛ MPP aba ne si gye Akufo ne si yɛ nipa na ɔyɛ saa adwuma no yɛmmɔ n'aba so na Nana Danko Akufo-Addo built an international airport in Kumasi ɔnyɛ hwee ma Kumasifoɔ. He back on 4th-year interchange at Swame COVID Ukraine-Russia war crisis amana ntinya ntoa so yɛsi MPP foɔ anyɛ hwee bɛkwasi panyin minister akora ketewa bi a nkora adwene na ɛwɔ ne ti na onim sɛ street art way ɛnyɛ administration job in some other countries saa deɛ wei wo yawɛ na anadwo bi si in some other countries this street art wobɛyɛ mpo na woyɛ ne anadwo but kwasi ampanyin bi a yɛma na yɛ regional minister onim deɛ ɔyɔ ɛte Ghana Kumasi ɛna openti interchange ɛna nkurɔfoɔ no so amanfoɔ agyi no wiase o amanfoɔ agyi no wiase obi asi international airport di ama wɔsɛ wanyɛ adwuma obi a projected to build 4th-year tied interchange wɔsɛ wanyɛ adwuma enipa na ɔbɔ na basketball so ɔbɛyɛ ne tre enipa na osi interchange nso wanyɛ adwuma bɛkwasi mpanyin bi ɔbɔ ayɛ a wayɛ budget sɛ ɔde kɔ penti wayɛ adwuma but maame bi a na ɔnka government ho wayɛ just a daughter of a president ɛna ɔde adwene baa sɛ he want to color the interchanges by her own. Yɛdi maame no atem di ne papa atem di MPP amanyokuafoɔ nyinaa atem but ɛnɛ the same job no sɛ Frank Amoako-Hene kɔyɛ deɛ a ɔsɛ fata sɛ yɛbɛbɔ n'aba so Ghanafoɔ we are very ungrateful. Well, look at this video. Maame ba abɔnten bɛsu ka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ yɛ maa ne kaprɛ. Watch this video. Wei ɛyɛ yɛwura Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ne ba o. Ɔsɛ Dr. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo has strongly denied report that she was given $25 million to Beautiful One. She said the allegation of such a contract being reported. Just a video where can hear. Maame ba abɔnten bɛsu kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ adwuma wo yɛ ame yie. Ɛyɛ mmea nkasa me bɔtɔ mu sika na mede yɛ saa adwuma wei. Ɛyɛ promotion bi ne funding bi na mahwehwɛ de ayɛ saa de wei. Ɛyɛ me papa na maa me sika. NDC and Ghanaians said no, and you're not correct. So far as our paye a president and 1 year, you're more contract. And okay, I said Juma win 1 year so the fiscal. It was just something that he wanted to do it to help make Ghana more beautiful. As we the papaya tem dine, ne batem dine ratem, can the epibiado to Fano. But a main regional minister, the president representative of Umase in Asante region, on an oye painted. Jan Twakwasi and Penny, young mob and Marco Hena Pasu or Juma. And this is the future. Hey,